every day,
everywhere,
across New Zealand,
from the smallest town
to the biggest city.
We have the finest tools
and expert advice
for any job.
for any person.
Who are we?
Who are we?
Who are we?
We are Nelson,
Hamilton, Pukekohe.
Rangiora.
We are Trade Zone.
we are Trade Zone.
We are Trade Zone.
Trade Zone, proud to bring you Trade Zone Addicted to Fishing.
I'm Nikki Sinden, and since I could hold a handline, I have been addicted to fishing. Whether it's straylining for snapper, jigging for kingfish, dropping deep for harpooker, or jumping in and going spearfishing, I love it all. Join me each week as I road trip around the country, travelling to both New Zealand's most iconic fishing destinations and stepping off the beaten track to show just how good Kiwi fishing really is. Whether it's a girls' trip, fishing with a local, or riding solo, I am on a constant quest to satisfy my insatiable fishing addiction. As you would have seen last season, the Trade Zone Addicted to Fishing crew flew into the stunning Fiordland National Park to do a bucket list trip with the legends at Pure Salt. This week, we share the second part of our adventure.
Fiordland has something for everyone, and Pure Salt and Flightless is a platform to be able to bring Kiwis down here and let them experience this place in whatever way they want to, really. You can jump in a kayak and go explore around the 365 islands that we have. You can go free diving, you can go scuba diving down to that deep water emergence and explore the depths of the underworld. It's a photographer's dream, it's an artist's dream, and I think you find it's most Kiwis' dream to be here, just to enjoy what Fiordland has, and does have something for everybody.
Really one of the main drives behind starting Pure Salt is having spent so many years working for other people and seeing the place change and seeing the fish being taken out and the stocks decreasing, where we wanted to create a space where people come and enjoy the place for what it is and look after what we've got here so generations to come can still do the same thing.
There's quite a few different walking opportunities down here in Dusky Sound. One of my personal favourites is going to Pigeon Island, where you got the start of New Zealand conservation. A man named Richard Henry was paid by the New Zealand government to live down here and pretty much save our flightless birds.
So you're going back all the way through the late 1800s, 1894. Richard Henry was the very first person to be employed by the government to look after conservation for New Zealand. He was the curator and caretaker of Resolution Island. So it's pretty special because at the time, rabbits were eating farmers out of home and house all around New Zealand, so stoats were introduced. And even back then they realised that wasn't going to be such a good idea. So he was put in place to take flightless birds from the surrounding mainland and put them onto Resolution as a safekeeper.
And you can go and visit his house site, walk through the forest, which is original forest, it was never logged, so you got these big beautiful trees. And lucky for us, Department of Conservation's put in a lot of hard work. And the bird life on Pigeon Island is absolutely amazing. You can be amongst that forest and it's loud. You know, the birds are everywhere. You've got robins literally walking over your feet, and you've got keriru and everything flying around you. It's amazing. It's pretty much the bird life that Captain Cook would have experienced when he came here to Dusky Sound.
So we just arrived in this beautiful little bay and it's 40 metres below us, but we're going to jump into the tender and we're going to go somewhere a little bit shallower because I definitely can't dive that deep. Anna, you are the girl on board that does the cooking. You know the most about crayfish, you know a lot more than me. When we find a crayfish, what are we actually looking for to make sure that we don't grab the ones and bury, because it is that time of year?
Yeah, so it is that time of year. There's going to be quite a few females down there that are in berry. When we're down there, we'll see they'll be in quite big nests, and the females will be in there, and there'll be 1 or 2 males protecting them.
Okay.
So we'll probably stay away from those ones, and we're just looking for the single males on their own. When you grab a cray, you're obviously going for its swarms. Grab its swarms, pull it out. If you see she's in berry, put it back.
Yeah.
And yeah, just go for the males.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited. I was really actually quite nervous about jumping in the water because it is quite cold, but I'm super toasty.
Yeah.
7 mil wetsuit.
They're awesome, eh?
Yeah, they're really, really
You won't
good.
even feel the water.
Nah, I'm excited. Let's do it. We get all geared up in our wetty dive gear and cruise over to the spot. Matt and I are stoked to be in the water, and it's not long before we're in a kelp-laden forest. As soon as I jump in, I see a decent-sized kinner, which is coming home with us. Crayfish are mostly found around rocky reef areas, where they hide in and amongst cracks and crevices in the rocks, and frequently underneath kelp, which provides food and shelter. They're nocturnal creatures and can often be seen walking around on the seabed at night, scavenging for anything from small fish to crabs and other crustaceans. Although normally found in shallower waters around that 5 metre mark, they've also been caught by commercial vessels in excess of 140 metres. My husband Matt has found another one and comes up to put it in our float boat. We could take a lot more crayfish, but we only need 3 to feed all 12 of us. Coming up after the break, we get straight back into the water and see what else Fiordland has to offer. This week, we're back down in Fiordland National Park with Pure Salt.
On board Flightless, we're here for about 11 months of the year in Fiordland, and we do get a lot of guests coming down here to enjoy Fiordland.
Well, essentially the way we see Flightless is like a floating beach. So you got all the toys on board. So we carry kayaks and paddle boards, fishing gear, we've got a hot tub on the top deck, and we also carry a couple of tenders. For us, looking after the place goes above and below the water. So looking after the fish stock is one thing, but also making sure that the forest that surrounds us get regenerated. The Tamatea Restoration Project aims to restore all of Dusky Sound back to what Captain Cook would have seen 250 years ago. So there's about 3,500 traps in all of Resolution Island, and it's looking at the surrounding islands and trying to get them to be a biobank for the rest of Fiordland and eventually New Zealand. So the idea really is that the ecosystems on those islands get brought back up to a spot where you can sustainably take species and repopulate other islands and eventually the rest of New Zealand. So we've approached DOC and asked what the next step is for us to be able to give back. And they pointed out Indian Island not having been looked after in a while. So we've taken on pest control on Indian Island itself, which is a 200-hectare island. And that is purely funded by us and our clients. Every trip we run, we donate 1 trap. And occasionally, our clients also donate funds, traps, cameras. Volunteers have cut tracks. People have come on board voluntarily working. Our crew volunteer, we volunteer. The boat goes for free. And that's how we managed to get the project as quickly as we have.
Oh well, power dive?
Yes.
Going for a wee free dive, excited?
Keen.
Yeah.
Nice. Just going to show you real quick how we're going to use our knives and how we're going to approach this. Basically we've got our knives here, really easy. We have a measure on one side, we have a shorter ramp and a longer ramp on the opposite side, okay? When we're cruising through the water, you see these wee fellas all in your rocks and your guts and bits and pieces. And we're just going to approach them nice and quiet, nice and carefully. The longer ramp against the rock, shorter ramp towards the shell, hand on there, and then just ramp it up just like that. That should just lift up nice and easily and pop off the rock. Beautiful. From there, lift him up, measure him just like so, and he'll be in. Basically between here and past here is in. Anything shorter than that it has to go back.
Okay.
Happy days.
And so what happens if we get one that's not our desired size, it's not legal?
Really, really important to give them a fair chance. We put them back exactly where we found them.
Yep.
Just place them back on the rock and hold them there until they suction themselves back on so they're happy again, okay?
So they'll suck themselves back on when
Yep.
you're ready.
latch yourselves back on. Don't leave them lying upside down. It's hardly fair.
It's not fair. Yeah.
Hardly a sporting chance.
Right.
Good to know.
And the henophiliacs?
Correct. So it's good to bring up. When you grab the paua shell, obviously just come along real gently, lift them off. Don't try and wrench on them, and then don't try and attack them with your knife. Basically, any cut is going to bleed out and not going to survive.
Okay, so we need to ninja them off the rock.
That's it, ninja.
Abby and Matt are off to do a shore dive because we have paua on the menu tonight. They could legally take 20 between them, but they're only gathering a total of 6 because that's all we need for dinner tonight. Paua have an oval-shaped shell, inside which is a large muscular foot that clings to the rocks. They have a pair of eyes, a mouth and tentacles, and they breathe through gills which are near their mouth under a row of pores in the shell. Male and female paua reproduce by releasing thousands of sperm and eggs into the water, an event known as broadcast spawning. The fertilised eggs hatch into microscopic larvae, which float around for about a week and then settle on the bottom of the ocean and start to develop shells. The survival rate of paua is very low, as they don't always find a suitable place to live, and are targeted by crabs, octopus, starfish and other fish.
Sweet. So you enjoyed your free dive out there?
Yeah, thank you for that. It was wonderful.
Yeah, you certainly got quite a few paua, and there's still a few left too.
Yeah, there was a few.
Yep.
That was cool.
Yep.
Good leaving some there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, the trick to taking care of them is to treat them right away and treat them properly.
Okay.
And what we do is taking them out of the shell pretty much as soon as you come back, just like we're doing now.
Yep.
And to take them out of the shell, you want to use the same knife that you took them off the rocks with.
Okay.
You know how they've got a round bit on one side
Yes.
and a little bit sharper on the other?
Okay.
You want to go in on the sharp bit, find the bottom,
Okay.
wiggle, and you hear pop.
And the pop, that's it.
At the pop, you want to stop it. And you see how it comes out, kind of hangs now.
Right.
So you puncture that with your thumb.
Yep.
Use your thumb to go around the main muscle.
Around the skirt there.
Yeah, around the skirt, and rip the rest off.
Cool.
So the roe and the hua stay in the shell itself. And then the only other thing that's left is the teeth in here. So you can use your thumb to push those out.
Oh, wow.
Keep the mollymawks happy.
Yep.
And the other thing is to actually tenderize it properly.
Right.
So
Okay.
you want to kill it fast, and we just use a rag.
Yep. Nice and humane.
Exactly.
Yep.
And anything heavy will do. Fire extinguisher, rock, dive weight.
Safety first.
Just one
Just
quick
one.
bang.
Yep.
That's all it needs. You just
Okay.
want to kill it. And after that, you want to put it into salt water. So just overnight, ideally 24 hours,
Nice.
and it's super soft afterwards.
There's nothing like ocean to plate. It's the best way to finish the day. Tackle tips and tactics, brought to you by Smart Marine. Hey team, just wanted to talk to you about the wicked new gloves that our mates over at Weddy have been doing. These are the Kevlar versions, so they're extra heavy duty. So say you're in the water, you're grabbing those crayfish and they grab onto you, and you know that they're not going to get through into your hands because these are the real McCoy. Now I really enjoy them because it's 3mm neoprene, so it's giving you that extra protection, and they've got latex to join it up with. And it also goes further up your wrist, so if the crayfish does grab onto you, you know you're going to have that protection. They're basically my new best friend when it comes to cray grabbing. For all your fishing needs, head on down to your local Smart Marine store. After the break, we jump in to check out some more underwater world and do some spearfishing. This week, we're back in Fiordland National Park, fishing, diving and playing under the water thanks to the team at Pure Salt.
Every day.
Yep.
Every day in this place you wake up, you pull the curtains back and you look out and you realise where you are and how lucky we are. How lucky we are to be in New Zealand. Yeah, we're surrounded by paradise.
I think if you can't find a moment to pinch yourself in every single day, you got to go and do something different. This place is magical, and you can't help but connect with that. There's something special in every day.
Flightless is a unlimited survey ship. So it basically means she can go anywhere in the world under a Maritime New Zealand survey. She's covered in a lot of safety equipment. So for example, we'll carry 4 life rafts on here. You got 2 EPIRBs, endless amount of medical equipment and flares. But we're in a remote environment, so you kind of need all that gear down here. Flightless is ex-New Zealand Navy. 27 metres, steel hull, alloy structure. Down in the bottom, we've got mainly accommodation and engine rooms.
Yeah, we could take up to 19 people if we wanted to, but we decided to only take 12 because over the years we've learned there's just a nice, comfortable amount. And it's not just for flightless, that's in general. That's a really nice group size.
So Sean, what can we expect down there?
Well, firstly here in Fiordland, obviously we have that freshwater layer, which can be a wee bit of a challenge to freediving. So it's going to look like that tea, that brown stain on the layer. But once you get underneath that, then it opens up into blue, clear water. So we're close to the coast here in Dusky Sound, so there's not a lot of fresh water on the surface. Yeah. Once we get beyond that though, for species, I was talking to Anna, the chef, before. She's pretty keen on us to get some sashimi. So things we're looking for the sashimi would be your trumpeter and tarakihi. And then for dinner, we'll probably target some butterfish and maybe a moki.
Beauty. And you're saying the trumpeter aren't so much of a deep water species around here, we can find them pretty shallow?
Yeah, you can find them pretty shallow. It's common for us to find them, especially at this time of the year, closer to winter. You're going to get them up around the white water, so anywhere there's a bit of surge, you're going to find them cruising in through that surge. They're there trying to take advantage of tired little fish being flung around in that white water.
So they're hitting the bait, bait fish. Wow, okay, cool.
What does a trumpeter look like?
Good question. Yeah, a lot of people haven't seen a trumpeter underwater. So it's an upright fish like a tarakihi, but it's very yellowy and greeny with big stripes along the side of it and a longer nose on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll hopefully be able to point one or two out to you.
Yeah.
Wicked.
Sweet.
Yeah. And clean shots, only go for what we need. Make sure it's of legal size, so make sure it's big. Obviously, magnification of your masks underneath, make it look bigger. So just go for large ones, and we'll keep communicating, make sure we haven't got too much. We've just got enough for the table.
The boys are off into the water, and it's not long before they spot some fish. Matt has identified our sashimi, a blue moki, and lines up his shot. He's nailed it and quickly pulls it in to dispatch the fish. That's not a bad size blue moki. Sean finds a butterfish, who are generally not too hard to shoot, offering some excellent target practice and great skill development for new divers. Although, in saying that, they do spook very easily. I'm sure there is more than one of us that has bent a spear trying to shoot a cunning little butter. Sean has come across a little octopus, and he swims with it for a while. These creatures are so fascinating how they can change colour to suit their environment and hide from predators, swimming backwards to get away. He's also very tasty, so he's going to come with us.
Wowee, what a good start. What a good dive.
An amazing dive.
Yeah.
Good temperature, good visibility, beautiful place.
Yeah.
Great variety of species down there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That massive shoal of baitfish was pretty crazy how it just came up to us and was hanging around at our feet.
Telescope fish.
Is that what they are?
Yeah, plenty of them around. So
Wow.
that's a Fiordland baitfish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And this is actually the first time I've ever been spear diving, and it's pretty lucky to have Red with us, guiding me along the way, and managed to bang this sweet blue moki. So I'm only in the water about a minute, which is perfect for me because I'm average in the water. So yeah, pretty happy with that.
Well done. Yeah.
Thank
Plenty
you.
of the old butterfish around. A lot of juveniles we saw down there today. But a few good eaters in there. So knocked over enough for dinner.
Yeah. Your one's still twitching.
It is a bit twitchy. Also a bit of an entree, which Chef Anna is going to process for us. The octopus there.
Wow.
Very quick growing creature. Quite a few of them around.
What's all these little spike things? Do they just come out of nowhere?
He changes it depending on what he's sitting on. Same as their colour.
Wow.
So they change their texture and their colour all the time just to camouflage themselves.
Interesting animals, eh?
They are very
Very intelligent.
Very tasty too.
Okay.
Next, Maria takes us to meet some of the locals. If that was a Honda, that would have gone first popped.
Of course it would have.
We come into a sheltered little bay and find a local seal colony. These seal pups are playful little rascals of the ocean. They're very friendly, but we don't touch them. We just love them from afar. They're excellent swimmers. They can dive more than 200 metres deep and hold their breath for up to 11 minutes. One day, a pup tagged on the west coast of the South Island was recorded in Australia. Oh, well, Maria, it's safe to say that this has been a trip of an absolute lifetime. I know that all of us here are going to go back with the feeling that we really want to come back again, and we're going to spread the message of conservation and sustainability and how epically beautiful this place is. I feel so privileged to have been invited here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure having all of you and sharing this place too. It's really nice being around people that get it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. And I'm glad that we could bring you with us to check this out. So that's it from us at Trade Zone Addicted to Fishing. We'll see you again next week. If you would like to book your bucket list trip with the legends at Pure Salt, simply go to www.puresalt.co.nz. I promise you will not regret it. A big fat kia ora also goes to Trips and Tramps for getting us from Queenstown to Te Anau, the Bella Vista Motel for the accommodation in Te Anau, and the Te Anau Helicopter Services for the stunning chopper flight in and out of Fiordland. Gear, Care and Catch, brought to you by Trade Zone. Here I am at Trade Zone in Palmerston North. Let's go on and see if Brendan's here. Hey Brendan, how's it going?
Hey Nikki, what are you doing down here again?
Well, we were actually out fishing yesterday, but I did something a bit stupid. I threw the wobbly pot overboard without tying it off.
Oh no!
So it's gone. And but this is a good opportunity for me to learn how to do my own one. I thought I might make my own.
Oh,
but,
fair enough. Yep.
Yeah, but I actually need a welder.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for at home, I'd recommend the little Exelarc Viper 185. It's a good little all-rounder machine. It's a MIG TIG arc, good little machine for at home.
Yeah, and I can plug that in, no worries.
Yeah, this has got a 10 amp plug on it, so it'll fit into your standard power point at home.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, sweet. I'll take one of those, please.
All right, we'll go over the counter, we'll sort it out.
Okay, thanks. For all your engineering needs, head in store or order online at www.tradezone.co.nz. Check out our YouTube page for tips, tricks, and entire episodes of every season. And like us on Facebook to keep up to date with competitions and all your fishing news. Trade Zone Addicted to Fishing is proud to be with Extreme Boats, powered by Honda Marine. We tow it around in our custom-built GFAB trailer on the back of our Mercedes-Benz V6. When we're not out on the water, it's all stored away in our BuildLink kit set shed. Smart Marine supply us with our Shimano tackle, and we find the best fishing spots with our Ray Marine. We finish the job thanks to Trail Trades. And move in precision thanks to Seastar. We maintain our gear using Ting tools, and we keep up to date thanks to New Zealand Fishing News magazine, and it all keeps performing thanks to Trade Zone.